Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do a full face of Juice Beauty. Juice Beauty is another clean makeup that is readily available in New Zealand, and you can purchase Juice Beauty products from Mecca Cosmetica or Mecca Maxima, and also on iHerb's sister's website called Love Letter. I have 4 products to try out today. I skipped out on the brows and the translucent powder and the primer because I feel like I don't need those products. So to start off, I have this foundation right here from Juice Beauty, and I have the shade Golden Tan. This foundation comes in 9 shades and it retails for $76 New Zealand. It says that it is a perfect blend of skincare and makeup. It gives medium to full coverage. It gives a radiant finish while nourishing, smoothing, and protecting the skin. Also, it is formulated without silicones, parabens, petroleum, sodium lauryl sulfates, phthalates, artificial dyes, or synthetic fragrance, and it comes with a pump, which I absolutely love. It's a bit watery, so you really have to shake it up, and it just went everywhere. So it's one of those foundation that is water based. It's literally like water. So I am going to pick up my handy dandy. Oh, it just went everywhere. That's a bad idea. It says that you can apply it with your finger. I fully think that you should because it's very watery. It kind of reminds me of the Ilia foundation that I tried before. It dries quite quickly as well. You don't have a lot of work time. It says that it has a medium to full coverage. At the moment, it's giving me like very like light, close to nothing coverage. It sinks into the skin beautifully, and it gave me like a my skin but better look, but coverage wise I'm not really happy about this. I feel like you're gonna have to constantly build it up. But looking from afar, my skin looks pretty good, and I feel like the shade match is pretty decent. So now I'm gonna have to go over it with a few pumps. It says that it is suitable for medium with golden undertone. Like you can see, my neck is pretty yellow, and that's my natural skin tone. And this one is running a little bit more neutral and gearing on the pink side. But once it oxidizes, I feel like it's going to be a great match. So this is what my skin looks like after applying 4 pumps. I would say it is a light to medium coverage. I am gonna have to go with one last layer to see how everything will get covered. I'm definitely not a fan of using a brush because I feel like it leaves brush strokes. So I'm gonna have to go with a sponge and kind of push that in and soak up a little bit of the excess product. Obviously the coverage will get sheared out, but I feel like it's better to apply the foundation with a brush and then go over with it with a sponge. Overall, it's a pretty decent coverage. I could definitely get away with wearing this much coverage, though the only problem is that I really have to put probably 6 to 8 pumps to get this coverage. So if you have a really good skin day, this is a good product. The one thing that I do love though is that even though I applied about 6 pumps, it feels very lightweight to the skin. It seeps into my skin, which is pretty good. It doesn't sit on top of my skin. It kind of made my skin look plump, and it made me look like I drank a liter of water. So now I'm going to move on to the Juice Beauty Phyto Pigments Perfecting Concealer. Now this one is in the shade Sand. This concealer comes in 4 shades. and it retails for 43 New Zealand dollars. It is a multitasking concealer. Its crease-free formula blends seamlessly into the skin. It has a buildable medium coverage and conceals discolorations and imperfections. Again, this is a plant-derived product. It doesn't have silicone, talc, gluten, parabens, glycols, PEGs. I don't know what that stands for. Artificial dye or synthetic fragrance, and this is what scent looks like. I feel like this is a good kind of light coverage for me. It has yellow undertone, which I like, so I am going to just use my finger to warm up the product and apply that on my eye. A little bit harder to blend, but this one covered my under eye beautifully and it highlighted it as well. And I'm gonna use that on top of my lids as a eyeshadow primer. Oh my god, what a drastic difference. Can you see how awake I look on this side compared to this side? I am planning to wear this makeup throughout the day to see how long it will last. It doesn't claim to be long wearing or anything like that, but if I were to spend money on makeup, I really wanted to test if it's going to last me for a decent amount of time. I'm not saying it needs to last for 24 hours, but just enough for me to have less touch up. So it works great with fingers, but I really wanted to see how it is blended into the skin with a sponge. So I'm just gonna go over that and smooth everything. Oh my gosh, I'm so upset. So I'm going to just lightly tap a little bit of concealer on the areas where I need to conceal. The color is a little bit light, so I don't really want to put a lot, otherwise it will highlight my acne scars instead of it covering it. For a cream formula, I do appreciate the fact that it doesn't really sink into my fine lines. Like, I have a bad crease along here and this part of my eye, and usually it doesn't matter what type of concealer I use, it always sinks into my lines, but this one doesn't. Like, if I go there, it doesn't have the build up underneath there. And looking at my skin at the moment, I don't even think that I have to set my face. But because I am going to wear it throughout the day, it's just fair for me to set my face. Actually, before that, I forgot I have a cream blush. Never mind. So for cream blush today, I have this Juice Beauty Phyto Pigment Last Looks Cream Blush, and I have the shade Flash, which is a nude beige. This comes in 4 shades and it retails for $43. Again, this is solely for blush, but I do actually think that you could use this for your lips and eyes as well. So this is a flattering blush that melts into the skin to recreate perfect natural looking flush of color. Again, this is a plant-derived product, and I have used this in my previous video, but it's such a good blush. It's like the perfect kind of nude blush that you could also use as a bronzer. So I'm going to use a dual fiber brush, just dip into the product and use that as a blush slash bronzer. This specific product performs great on top or underneath the powder. I have tried both techniques and it works beautifully. And also I picked up the shade Nude Beige because it's not going to be overpowering for my skin tone, and I could pile up as much and it will make me look like I just did like a 15-minute workout. And it just created and gave me a nice glowy, healthy skin. So now I can finally set my face, so I will be right back. I did not apply any highlighter because I find that the foundation actually has that luminous glow to it. Also, on top of that, the blush kind of gave it a more subtle glow. For the last product that I have this Juice Beauty Jelly Eyeshadow. This is from the Phyto Pigment as well, and it comes with 3 shades. I got the shade Mimosa, which is more of a bronzy shade, and this retails for $38. So it says that you could apply this shadow sheerly for a nice wash of color, or you could build it up to have like a really nice glow to the eyes. So this is what it looks like right there. It kind of blends into my skin. So it's going to be interesting how that will turn out on my eyes. So I'm just gonna apply that much maybe, and I will use my finger. It dried down pretty quickly, and I feel like it didn't really do much. It gave me a very subtle color on the lid. Personally, I would prefer it to be more shimmery or more pigmented, but for an everyday wear, and if you have a fairer skin tone, this would be a good shade to have. Like if you compare this side to this side right here, it has a little bit of something but not too intense. I'm going to just even that out. And I really have to pile a lot to get the intensity that I wanted. Like for $38, I'm gonna run out real quick because the tube is so small. If you piled on a lot, it tends to get real patchy, like what's happening on this eye. I've noticed that the eyeshadow kind of clung on that dry patch of my eye right there. I feel like I put on too much. But overall, my look is great. It's a nice everyday look. It's very glowy. The time right now is 10:40 a.m. I will go about my day, and then I will check back with you maybe before I go to work today and see how everything is looking. But so far, so good. Hi, beautiful. The time right now is 1:24 p.m. So I have worn this foundation or full face of Juice Beauty for about 2.5 hours or almost 3 hours, and oh my god, I noticed that my oil is starting to seep through around this area right here. But then when I looked in the mirror, this part is so cakey. Like you could see right there, it started to crease. The eyeshadow creased as well, and it went like all patchy and stuff. And then around this chin area and around the mouth area, it looks so cakey. And then it started to break apart around the forehead area, which is strange because I do love the first application. I think it might have something to do with how much I put on. I actually had the same problem with the Ilia Vivid foundation because the formulation is somewhat similar. It's very liquidy, and it's kind of hard to figure out how you would apply the product. But 2 hours in, and I already hated the way it looks. So I'm just gonna quickly touch up everything, and then I'll get back with you to see how everything looks like after I've touched up. Seriously, it was such a struggle touching it up. I had to fully spritz my face like almost wet, and then dab the excess with a sponge, and then go over it with a translucent powder. I find that the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Pressed Powder worked so much better when I did set my under eyes. Once again, it did got rid of the flakiness and dryness on my skin, but then again, it kind of illuminated my skin, so I'm not too sure how it's going to look throughout the end of the day. So the glare that you are seeing right now is actually from the blush. I did not set it. I kind of just sprayed another spritz of setting spray to fix it. But yeah, I will talk to you guys once I finish work later on and see how everything is, and I will then let you know my final thoughts. Hi beautiful, the time right now is 7:09 p.m. so I have been wearing this foundation for roughly 7.5 hours, and I am so greasy. I did wear my glasses today because I drove to work. My coverage on my nose area is definitely gone. My coverage for the most part on this area is still pretty good, though my oil is pretty intense as of right now. I'm just going to blot a little bit of that nasty oil I did notice that the foundation kind of gathered in this nose area right here, and it looked a little bit cakey on this area. My forehead, it looks very youthful and moisturized, whereas the other parts of my face are looking quite rough. I do see a little bit of cakeness around this inner part right here. Eyeshadow crease, as you can see right there, and I am not a fan of that jelly shadow. It did not do anything for me whatsoever. It kind of stained my lids and gave me that little bit of sparkle, but overall I'm not a fan. Like, I have other cream eyeshadows that works a lot better. The blush is by far my favorite product out of the Juice Beauty products that I've tried. Second is foundation. I just have to learn how to work with it since it's quite new and the formula is very runny. I'm not really used to using that kind of formula. I typically stick to cream or more of like a moussey formula, which works best for my skin tone, but overall it did a pretty decent job in holding up. I would not wear the foundation for 12 hours. I would probably get away wearing it for up to 6, pushing it to 8 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed this video / wear test. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.